Hey y'all, glory be to God. Welcome to the Kingdom Woman channel where love for God is made practical. I'm Mariah. Thanks for tuning in. So yeah, today I wanted to come touch bases with y'all. I am outside of the gym. It's cold in Alabama and I don't like that. But come February, it's gonna warm back up. Come March, it's gonna be spring. Come April, it's gonna be summer. So I ain't tripping. But I wanted to come touch bases with y'all. I didn't go to the park today because it's cold. I ain't going out there. But I am going to go into the gym. So I'm sitting in the car and I'm going to touch bases with y'all before I get out and go into the gym. So today I wanted to talk about the flesh. The flesh is something that everybody going to battle with. And I just wanted to simplify. Do I want to simplify it? I guess I just wanted to come talk about it. And the more information you have, I guess that simplifies the process of having to deal with it, navigate through life with it. But what I was going to say is simplify the flesh, but you really can't simplify the flesh. That doesn't make sense. But anyway, so yeah, let's go. So the flesh. Everybody is walking around in a meat suit. And your meat suit wants to feel good. Your meat suit wants to feel good. And your meat suit has needs. You have to take care of your meat suit because you live in it for, you got 120 years in this meat suit and you got to take care of it. You got to feed it. You got to clean it. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure all its systems are operating properly, so you got to take care of it. You got to do right by your meat suit. But the Bible tells us that there is no good in our flesh. And that the flesh is consistently conflicting against the spirit. And so, you know what I'm saying? The Bible also talks about crucifying your flesh. And what that really means is not allowing your flesh to dictate your actions, but walking in the spirit, or allowing the principles of God, kingdom principles, to influence your decision-making power instead of your flesh. Right? Because your flesh can get you in trouble. Your flesh can get you into some trouble. And, you know what I'm saying? If we kingdom and we on the process of becoming more Christ-like, as we coming out of the world and navigate throughout our process, is to become more Christ-like. We have to grow and mature and not allow our flesh to dictate what we do as much. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we got to take care of it and be good to it and nurture it, but we can't let it take over. Right? So that's not what you want to do. Okay, so in taking care of your flesh, you got to understand that your flesh really is never satisfied. Maybe temporarily satisfied, but really your flesh is never satisfied. And you got to be careful of that because your flesh can get greedy. And it's okay. We all have reproductive systems, right? We're not just gonna sit up here and act like we don't have reproductive systems, reproductive hormones, and that our bodies don't function how they're supposed to. Our bodies are supposed to function to reproduce. So, that's that's biology. So we're not gonna ignore that. But your flesh can get greedy, right? And you know what I'm saying? The greedy part of that is just humping on folks. You know what I'm saying? Instead of, instead of finding that one person to be with and to partake in those type of activities with, you know what I'm saying, your flesh can get greedy and try to convince you to hump on a lot of folks. You know what I'm saying? For example, your flesh can convince you to want to hop on a lot of folks. Or, you know what I'm saying, like I said, you got to nurture your flesh, so you got to feed it. But your flesh can get greedy. So what does that look like? That can look like overeating. That can look like eating a whole box of Krispy Kreme donuts instead of 1 or 2 or maybe even 3. You don't need 12. You just don't need 12 Krispy Kreme donuts at one time. Like, you just don't. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, but your flesh does. Your flesh wants that. Your flesh wants those things. Your flesh wants to feel good, right? So it could look like being lazy. You don't feel like getting up. You don't feel like doing this. You don't feel like doing that. And let me tell you something about not feeling like it. Anytime you don't feel like it, that's a trick of the enemy. That's an attack of the devil. Like, that's not Christ-like behavior. I don't feel like it is from hell. That's from Satan. Like, that's not a kingdom thing. So if you ever in a spot where you like, man, I don't feel like it, push past that, because that's not of God. But you know what I'm saying? So that could be laziness. You want to sit there and sit there and sit there. Now, you know what I'm saying? I have had to deal with all of those battles. I've had all of those battles. All of them. When I feel lazy and I want to just sit there, I sit there. But I overcome by giving myself a time limit. Like, it's 3:43. So if I want to sit here and be lazy, I would just be like, at the top of the hour, I'm gonna get up. You know what I'm saying? Set boundaries for your flesh. You know what I'm saying? Learn how to master your flesh and not allow it to master you, instead of just sitting there, and then 3, 4, 5, 6 hours then gone past, and you just sat there the whole day and ain't did nothing. You know what I'm saying? Decision making power. Find a way. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, instead of eating a whole box of donuts, only buy 3. Only buy 6. You can buy half a dozen. You ain't gotta buy a whole dozen. It don't matter how much more value it is to buy 12. Just buy 6. You don't need 12. You ain't even gotta buy that many. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta hump on everybody. Find one person to hump on and get married. That's the right thing to do. Now, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm not gonna dive too deep into that, because, you know what I'm saying, I don't struggle with wanting to hump on a whole lot of people. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I wouldn't be the person to give you advice on that. But what I would say is set boundaries for yourself. You know what I'm saying? If that's something you struggle with, or if that was something I was struggling with, I would just try to find one person. I would try to find one person. Now, I don't know, because, you know what I'm saying, that's not something I've had to battle with. So I really can't tell you how to get out of that one. I can't tell you, you know what I'm saying, if you desire different people at one time, like, I can't, you know what I'm saying, I don't have a testimony on that one. But set boundaries for yourself. Find a way to set a boundary. Do you gotta sleep with 10 people, or can you just make it 3? I don't know. I'm just saying, like, set some boundaries. But, you know what I'm saying? Really, you know what I'm saying? The kingdom, you know, and that's just the basic stuff. But if you're gonna be kingdom with it, you are gonna want to go into the Bible and find out what the Bible says about what the principles are that are applicable to the struggle that you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Putting your body in submission, crucifying your flesh, being crucified yourself. You know what I'm saying? Those things, you know what I'm saying? When you apply those principles to your life, It's easier to deal with your flesh because your flesh don't control you. You can control your flesh. You tell your flesh what to do. You make it do what you want to do. It don't tell you what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. So yeah, that's the flesh. But the flesh is greedy. The flesh is greedy and it don't have no limits. The flesh it don't have no limits. So you know what I'm saying? You have to learn how to tell your flesh no. Because if you don't tell, it's just like it's just like the devil. If you get a devil a ride, he gonna want to drive. That's how your flesh is. So you got to tell it no. You got to tell your flesh what to do. You got to master your flesh and your body and all of that. Tell it what, and you know what I'm saying? And the thing about telling your body what to eat is, you know what I'm saying? That's a mind thing. You know what I'm saying? If you think that eating healthy is the worst thing for you, it's gonna be the worst thing for you. But if you transform your mind to believe that eating healthy is good for you and you're gonna enjoy it, even if you have to start off by telling yourself I'm gonna enjoy the benefits, so I'm gonna eat healthy, just do that. You know what I'm saying? Even if you gotta tell yourself being with one person is the safe thing to do, you know, it really is like the safest thing for you to do. And you know what I'm saying? That's God's design for my life. You know what I'm saying? Being committed to the person he put me with. You know what I'm saying? That, you know what I'm saying? Start there. Start there. But don't just be letting your flesh run all willy-nilly. And if it's something that got a stronghold on you, take that to the Lord and get deliverance. Go to the chain breaker and let him break them chains. Them chains ain't got nothing on the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. Child, please. Take that to the King so he can bust them chains off you. Run around here in bondage. No. We ain't doing that. He wanted to set you free. That's what he died for. So don't let his sacrifice be in vain. All right, baby? That's the flesh. I hope this helps somebody. If you got any questions or comments, leave them down in the comment section. I might make another video just for you. All right. Until next time. Bye.